And I know she's so pretty, all alone in that light. Take her out to the city, she makes everything right. Everywhere we go, people stop, people stare, not believing her sparkle like some shining star. How I long to be with her, how I love my car. And in all the right places, she's so smooth to the touch. As the years leave their traces, I'll still love her so much. Sometimes when it rains, when it snows, when the weather is bad, there's no distance that I'd think too far to return to protect her. How I love my car. We turn each other on, then drive each other wild. She's music to my ears, got me acting like a child. Now, 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 da 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 da, la da 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 da. Someday I'll miss that bright shining smile, all the while singing praises of love as I play my guitar. But for now, how I need her, how I love my car. Thank you so much. This is my Songs and Stories show. I only wrote most of the songs in this show, not all of them. But I did live all of the stories that you're going to hear about. I've been a songwriter mostly all my life, at least since I was 12 years old. Anyway, in 1957, Paul Anka had out a song, and it was on the charts for 25 weeks, 9 weeks of which it was at number 1. This was what it was. I'm so young and you're so old. This, my darling, I've been told. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Paul Anka was 16 years old at the time. I was 11. And yet at 11 years old, I said to myself, there's got to be something wrong with saying to your girlfriend, I'm so young and you're so old. It ignited a fire in me, and I said, by the time I get to be 16, I want to have a hit record. And I think I can write a better lyric than that. It really was the incentive that I had. So I practiced, and I pictured myself up on stage as Elvis up there playing, or Ricky Nelson or somebody like that, Of course, I wasn't playing guitar at the time, I was playing accordion. So it was a little difficult to do it that way, I gathered. So I gave up accordion and I took up guitar. Well, 16 came and went, and so did 17, and so did 18, and by 19 years old, I gotta change guitars for this. By 19 years old, I joined a group called the Vibratones. And about a year later, we changed our name to the Critters. And we signed our first record deal, and we had a hit record with a John Sebastian song. John was from Love and Spoonful, with a song he wrote called Younger Girl. She's one of those girls who seems to come in the spring. One look in her eyes and you forget everything you had ready to say. And I saw her today. Yeah, the younger girl keeps her rolling across my mind. No matter how much I try, I can't seem to leave a memory behind. I remember her eyes, soft, dark and brown, said she'd never been in trouble or even in town. The younger girl keeps her rolling across my mind. Oh, the younger girl keeps her rolling across my mind. And should I hang around, acting like her brother, in a few more years they'd call us right for each other. But why? If I wait, I'll just die. Yeah, the younger girl keeps her rolling across my mind. No matter how much I try, I can't seem to leave a memory behind. I remember her eyes, soft, dark and brown, said she'd never been in trouble or even in town. A younger girl keeps her rolling across my mind. She's one of those girls that seems to come in the spring. One look in her eyes and you forget everything. She's one of those girls. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you. I wrote a song about a beautiful young lady whom I met back then when I was a young man. I was young once, actually. And it was to be our next release. It actually became our next hit. It was our biggest hit. I'm proud to say. I wasn't as young as Paul Anka. I was 20 years old when it came out. Just a breeze will muss your hair, but you smile away each little care. And if the rain should make you blue, you say tomorrow is new. Blue be your eyes, blonde your hair. You realize beyond a care, life's in a hurry, but you've got no worry. You're so mystifyingly glad. I'm Mr. Dyingly sad. And when the leaves begin to fall, answering the winter's call, I feel my tears, they fall like rain, weeping forth a sad refrain. Blue, dark and dim it may seem, you mark a grin, a moonbeam brightens your smile. Pray tell me how all the while you can be so mystifyingly glad. Not Mr. Dyingly sad. You say, take my hand and walk with me. Wake this land and stalk the sea. Oh, show me love, unlock all doors. I'm yours. Then the tide rolls up to shore. I whisper low, I love you more, more than even you could know. Adore me, do, so I can show I'm so mystifyingly glad. Not Mr. Dyingly sad. Mr. Dyingly sad. let's have some fun with a song that was written by a man by the name of Chris Kenner. Wrote a lot of hits. I put some lyrics to this, some spoken lyrics to this. This could have been the first rap hit. Who knows? When you know the parts of the song, feel free to sing along. You know, there's a place I know across the tracks where you can go and dance off your, well, shoes. Where Elvis is singing and Marvin is still swinging and BB's just a playing the blues. Well, come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. The name of the place, I like it like that. Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you something. You see, I got kind of lonely the other night. I had some memories dancing in my head. You know what I mean. Well, then the telephone rang, and it was Joe Cannon. And this is what he said. He said, hey, Don, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. The name of the place. Oh yeah. Well, Joe comes by and picks me up on his Royal Enfield. And when we got there, let me tell you something. They was playing some sweet soul music. So I asked this honey to dance. She said, no thanks. I said, come on, girl. I'm just a soul man looking for a chance. Well, come on. Let me show you where it's at. Come on. Let me show you where it's at. Come on. Let me show you where it's at. The name of the place. I like it like that. Well, you'd think that'd be kind of the end of the story, but it ain't. You see, what happened was, at the end of the evening, when everyone was leaving, that same honey said she wants to have a little chat. She said, come home with me, whole lot of shaking going on. I said, ooh, baby, I like it like that. Well, come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show you where it's at. Come on, let me show. Come on, nice and loud. Last one, the name of the place. I like it like that. Yeah, those are good songs. It's a lot of fun to sing those songs. But it's Valentine's Day. If you're lost for words, you might consider this. I bless the day I found you. I want to stay around you. And so I beg you, let it be me. Don't take this heaven from one. If you must cling to someone now and forever, let it be me. Each time we meet, love, I find complete love. Without your sweet love, oh, what would life be? So never leave me lonely. Tell me you love me only, and that you'll always let it be me. Oh, each time we meet, love, I find complete love. without your sweet love. What would life be? So never leave me lonely. Tell me you love me only, and that you'll always let it be me. Thank you. It's a pretty song. I was a big fan of the Four Seasons, and I got to be one of them. It's just something you can't create. It just kind of happens. But 10 years of 305 days and nights a year on the road. One-nighters. Some of them were two-nighters, multiple nights, but mostly one-nighters. Got real tiring, and I retired. When I went home, I looked through my file cabinet, and I was looking at songs that I wrote a long time ago, and some of those things really caught my eye. One in particular was an actual event that happened in my life. A friend of mine wanted to date the lady friend of my girlfriend at the time. So he asked me if I would ask my girlfriend if she would ask her friend if she wanted to go out with the other guy, and so she told her, and then she told me, and I told. It's the way it was done. We were young, and I wrote a song about it. It's a little hokey thing, but this is the story. There's a story that I've got to tell you people about a friend of mine who asked me for a favor. He had eyes for her and knew she was a friend of whom I loved. So he asked me to ask her if she would ask her. It was a week or so before I got an answer. My love said she said yes, and I should let him know. And that the following nights were planned for us to double. The only question that remained was where to go. That was easily solved, our mental gearwork revolved. We decided on a simple night of bowling. Well, the evening went fine, but in his favor, not mine, for he won both their hearts and set their eyes to rolling. Can you imagine all the sleep I missed that night? All I had left was just a memory to savor. I tried so hard to be a nice guy, but I overshot my goal. It doesn't pay sometimes to do a friend a favor. I'd like to play a song I wrote that embodies exactly how I feel about her. All of you. In my life I need all of you. From the winter to fall of you. Every day and night, all of you. All of me, I would gladly give all of me. And if the sun were to fall to the sea, you'd need only to call on me. I'd be your shining light. I'd be your prince, your knight. I'd be your lowly knave, your kindly king, or your faithful slave. Angels could never be quite what you are to me. And heaven knows I would do what's right and true to have all of you. Oh, angels could never be quite what you are to me, and heaven knows I would do what's right and true to have all of you. Yeah, as a songwriter, you have to kind of imagine things sometimes. And I imagined that my favorite guitar was alive with feelings, and I'd write a love song, and the guitar would get annoyed and go out of tune, or I'd date someone, I'd come back and find that the strings are unwinding on their own, So I wrote this song. I mean, I had to write a crazy song about a crazy guitar. It was a crazy idea to begin with, so. I need the volume up, I forgot that. Because I just couldn't get that guitar back in tune. Sometimes I think this guitar has a heart. Lift me up before I fall apart. Always been like my best girl. Throw my heart into a whirl. Lift me up before the pain could start. Well, lately there's been someone on my mind, and I could watch these guitar strings unwind. Acting like a jealous wife, this guitar controls my life. Seems like this old thing can read my mind. 'Cause I just can't get this guitar back in tune. It's been the longest running honeymoon. Jealousy, coincidence, or crazy as a loon. I just can't get this guitar back in tune. Well, the other night I went out on a date. I come back, my guitar's at the gate. Could it be I left it there? Can a guitar really care? Am I nuts or is it way too late? 'Cause I just can't get this guitar back in tune. It's been the longest running honeymoon. Jealousy, coincidence, or crazy as a loon. I just can't get this guitar back in tune. Oh yeah! Well, I just can't get this guitar in its case, playing like it's in some crazy race. I can't seem to slow it down, it's out of tune. I'm out of town and I'm trying to find a gig just playing bass. 'Cause I just can't get this guitar back in tune. It's been the longest running honeymoon. Jealousy, coincidence, or crazy as a loon. I just can't take this guitar back. I just can't cut this guitar slack. I just can't get this guitar back in tune. Oh no.